Now, before you tell me, Robin, this is such a stupid video idea, hear me out. For the past 7 days, I challenged myself to be bored for 1 hour each day. That means no technology, no productivity, just existing. My goal for this year is to reclaim my brain, so let's see if this helps. This video is sponsored by Grow Therapy. Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to the Science of Self-Care, where we fall in love with the practice of taking care of ourselves so we can live better, longer. I have been wanting to try this for a long time, and basically I just kept putting it off because I feel like I didn't actually have time to do this, which usually is a sign that you need to do this. It's like when you don't have time to meditate, that's when you need meditation most. I'm gonna quickly run through the rules that I set for myself, then we're gonna go day by day through my experience, and lastly, I'll finish this video with some broader takeaways that might be relevant to you. I hope this video inspires you, if not to be bored for an hour, to just take some time to be fully present in the next few weeks. So before you assume this is completely useless, I would say try it yourself and also watch this video. So let me quickly run through the rules that I set for myself. Basically, each day I had to sit for 1 hour using this hourglass, so not even using any technology. I had to sit for 1 hour until the hourglass was completely turned over and empty. And in that time, I wasn't allowed to be productive in any real way. I was not allowed to entertain myself with technology or reading or music. I wasn't allowed to move around too much because I'm a little ADHD, and pacing and doing exercises and stuff is really easy for me, and it's almost a way to be productive, to work out my body. So I'll allow myself to stretch a little as I see fit, but no real workouts in this hour, no eating, no drinking, and of course, no sleeping. Just literally sitting there and being present in the moment. I was allowed to meditate if I felt called to, where you really try to clear your mind of any thoughts, but I wasn't requiring myself to meditate. I was totally fine with daydreaming and doing nothing and being bored truly for 1 hour. I think there's something really magical about daydreaming, and I used to daydream a lot when I was little. I also chose to do this at night in this corner of my couch because this area has become associated with scrolling on technology for me, so I'm trying to reframe my association to sitting here. And also I was allowed to jot down any notes that came up during the session in this little notebook, but it had to be related to this experience so I could document it for you guys. I wasn't allowed to start writing and planning things for the future, no to-do lists. That actually came up quite a bit in this hour period of boredom, this urge to focus on the future or even the past. And so it was just all about being present, documenting the present moment, sitting with the present moment. So enough yip yapping, let's get into it. Day 1. I'm reading this all from my journal, by the way. Before. I am incredibly tired today. It was a very long day. Feeling very pregnant as well, and my stomach hurts a little. So that was the state I was in before this. On day 1, one of the insights I had was that I've always been a daydreamer, but I've gotten into the habit of daydreaming through technology. So I have an idea, then I'll start looking up something, then I'll start a Pinterest board about it, then I'll start researching other people's opinions on it. So the daydreaming and the imagination is done through technology. You never allow yourself to just fully in isolation daydream how I used to when I was little. Also, during this first day, I clearly realized that the anticipation of this experience was way worse than the reality. I don't know why I had so much resistance to doing this. I'm actually kind of loving it. Wow, before I know it, I'm 45 minutes in, and this is actually sort of flying by. This feels like a vacation from life, and considering my screen time is relatively high, this is clearly a vacation I can afford. True, Robin, very true. Okay, so after, I feel a lot better, I feel calm, I feel less tired, my tummy feels better, and even though this was not about being productive, I feel like I've accomplished something. Day 2. Before, I feel good, just tired, and only have slight resistance to doing this. Some notes. I am loving looking at the details of things around me, like the texture of this fuzzy blanket or the skin of my hand. I'm feeling very grateful for life, that I just get to sit here in warmth and comfort and safety and do nothing. that I have the luxury of being bored. This day, I remember I was feeling very, very grateful for the simple basics that I take for granted in my life. Sitting here, I'm noticing more imperfections in my couch, stains and scratches. Recently, I've been trying to let go of perfection and see the wear and tear of life as beautiful, aging and erosion as beautiful. Kind of like the mirror I bought today at Goodwill, it's nicer because it's seen some life. It adds texture and intrigue. It's true, I've been falling in love with imperfection, age, and used things more and more. And I feel like I used to be very uptight about keeping my space a certain way. And especially now going into motherhood, I'm just trying to let go of it all and see the beauty in the wear and tear and the erosion that will naturally happen to things around us. Despite doing nothing, I feel like I'm getting more mileage out of this hour than the typical hour I spend in the evening. I resisted doing this for many weeks because I feel like I didn't have an hour to waste. But while doing this, I feel like the non-bored version of this hour would have been the wasted hour. After, I feel grateful and peaceful. Just reading through this journal is actually making me really happy. Sitting around and doing nothing is not the only way to work on your mental health. If you'd like something more robust and consistent and structured, then finding the right licensed therapist that fits your insurance is a great option. And that's where today's sponsor, Grow Therapy, comes in. Grow Therapy is a platform designed to help you find your perfect therapist within your network. You can sort through their over 19,000 licensed providers on the platform to find someone who's covered by your insurance, aligns with your values, the expertise that you need, and to make sure that they're available virtually or in person in your area, whatever you prefer. And I really think that's the most important thing with therapy is finding that person you really click with. If you are not happy with your initial choice, Grow Therapy makes it super easy to try someone else so that you can find the perfect click. Grow Therapy works with over 100 insurance plans, including mine, and also including Medicaid in some states. Sessions cost an average of $21 with insurance, and some people are paying as little as $0 depending on their plan. If you'd like to try Grow Therapy today, visit this link in the description box or scan this QR code here on screen to get started with therapy that actually fits you. Thank you, Grow Therapy, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to being bored. Day 3. Before, I feel pretty neutral about doing this, not dreading it as much as previous days. By the end of this week, I will have spent only 7 hours of the 168 hours in a week on this experience, but those 7 hours will likely feel disproportionately memorable and impactful. That is true. Today, I have a little urge to look at the hourglass. For some reason, I don't really want to know how much time has passed or how much time is left. There's something very joyful about just existing and not having to do anything. I think this is why some people reach some sort of nirvana when they meditate, the simplicity and joy of existence. I am excited for today's session to end so I can spend time with my husband. Aww. I think these boredom breaks are good at reminding you what actual quality ways of spending your time look like. After, I feel peaceful, I feel capable, I feel more in control of my brain, my behavior, and my time. This journal is making me smile. Day 4. Before, I'm feeling good, I had a nice day, and I'm not dreading this. Okay, something I have to say about day 4 is I did an entire session, and each day I was time-lapse filming myself just so I would have some B-roll. After the session, I realized the time-lapse crashed. It had not recorded my hour-long time-lapse, but I actually felt so chill about it that I decided, well, we're just gonna do it again. I restarted the time lapse and I did a whole new hour. So on day 4, I actually ended up doing 2 hours back to back of nothing. I was feeling very David Goggins inspired, just finish what you start. And these are my notes from the second hour. Since the first round didn't record, I'm doing this again. I don't know if I would have calmly started a second session on day 1. I probably would have been too lazy or a bit distraught that it didn't save or just very frustrated. Now I have no issue doing it again. I do feel ready for bed, but I'm also so proud of myself for doing this all. I'm just amazed at how painless this really is. After, I feel accomplished, and funnily enough, I don't have to do anything to get this feeling. I actually just have to abstain from doing things. Resisting things is now something to be proud of. Day 5. Before. I am so excited for my 1 hour of intentional nothing, probably because I still have work to finish and this seems like a lovely break. After doing this for 2 hours yesterday, I feel very capable. 1 hour is a breeze. I find myself constantly wanting to add to a to-do list rather than just sometimes sitting with the current moment. It's nice to have a moment of pause and appreciation to realize that I'm living in a beautiful reality. In many ways, I'm living my dream life. The things you now take as your default may have been just a figment of a dream in the past. After. I'm actually excited and eager to dig into my work now, and this is probably not how I would feel if I had spent the last hour scrolling on my phone. Day 6. Before. Today, I have a little more resistance to doing this. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm feeling more like I want dopamine from devices. Okay, some notes. The initial resistance is completely gone. I actually love this. This is the antidote to endless doom scrolling. It's so interesting to spend a little more time reflecting on time itself. This hour will pass exactly the same whether I'm sitting here doing nothing or whether I am busily distracted and doing a bunch of stuff. The hour is the same. And what a gift to be able to relish it. One day I will be dead, all my hours used up. It's nice to savor a few, like eating a dessert in very tiny bites. That's true. It's funny, I don't even remember writing this. After, I feel more peaceful and calm. I feel more like I have my brain back. Day 7. Before, I feel shitty. I have an eye infection and I'm looking forward to just sitting here. On this day, I actually had a flight to catch in the evening, so I did the morning instead of the evening. My eye continues to hurt, but I feel like I'm more calm and peaceful sitting with it. Sometimes during periods of pain or discomfort, my first impulse is to distract myself, to numb the uncomfortable sensation. However, I actually am enjoying just sitting with it. I actually love studying my belly button, LOL. I'm also pregnant, so my belly is a little bit of a form of entertainment, but I try not to look at it too much. Because it's turned into an outie from pregnancy, I can finally see inside of my belly button again after over a decade. These are really deep thoughts here. There's something really nice about quiet silence. I actually do spend a lot of time in silence, but there's still a lot going on in my brain because I'm looking at my computer or my phone. So there's a lot of chatter up here. And during this experience, there was less chatter here and no noise around me. So that was really lovely. After, my eye still hurts, but I feel calmer. I feel like I can properly relax and don't feel the need to distract myself from the discomfort in my eye. So some takeaways from this experience: the anticipation of being bored for an hour was much worse than the actual experience. I had to put this off for 2 weeks before I was brave enough to start, which is so silly. I'm someone who I feel like I welcome discomfort, I welcome challenges, but I just kept thinking I don't have time to be bored, which is the stupidest thing ever because I have time for all sorts of other shenanigans in my life. I'm just very humbled that by the end of this, I very much appreciate having a carved out time to do nothing and just exist. I noticed that even after the very first day, I just felt a lot less lazy as a person. I remember that first day I finished my session and then I just got up and did late night laundry and things that I would normally be putting off, or if I had been scrolling on my phone, I would have thought, I'll do it tomorrow. I just did stuff and I felt proactive and positive and capable and confident. This all sounds so silly and ridiculous and dramatic. How could 1 hour of doing nothing change that? But somehow it really did. It was a little bit of a reset on my brain and I just feel a lot less lazy. I feel more able to just get down and do stuff. So those are my notes from this experience. I don't know if that was very boring for you guys because you weren't there, but I'm humbled. So if you feel like you're just in some sort of rut, I would highly recommend trying this just for 7 days. Set yourself a timer, or honestly, I kind of love this hourglass. I just love that it's an analog way to keep track of time, so I don't need to be on my phone setting timers. But as always, I'm just one person sharing my experience. I really want to hear from you guys. Is this something you would be interested in trying? Have you done similar sort of digital detoxes or meditation or boredom experiments yourself? Please share with us down below. I love hearing from you guys and I learned so much from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you next time.